Hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Just gotta wait on a YouTube studio as always. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long to wake up, and we can get this party started. Ah, yeah. There's the notification from YouTube. What's going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Guardians series recap, series preview, live stream. Oh, yeah. Guardians wrapped up a 6-game, 2-city road trip as they traveled north of the border to Toronto, took 2 out of 3 from the Blue Jays, and then they traveled to our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, to face off against the Nationals for 3 games. What's up, Daniel? Damn, Daniel. Back at it again with the opening comment. So, 3 games against a team that, I guess it's inferior, right, Dashy? Yeah, in case he's snooping along, lurking in the shadows. Because I always have that feeling he's lurking in the shadows of my streams. He'd be lurking. He'd be lurking. I know he got that notification. Oh, he did. Everyone else did. I'm sure everyone did. I did. If I did, you did. So I know he's probably lurking in the shadows. So, yeah, we faced the Nets for 3 games. And boy, I see the Guardians brought their offense with them. Yeah, I'll get into that here in a second. But for the first game of this series, of course, it was a doubleheader. Yep, because Mother Nature just had to get involved. And let's just say the Guardians started up the series with an offensive explosion. Yeah, they definitely brought the offense. That's for sure. As I pull up the first game stats, because, my PC just likes to take its time. I'm actually going to take out this freaking Z drive here. Maybe that'll speed it up a bit. Yeah. What's up, Jacob? So anyways, in this game, for the Guardians, of course, we had Luis Ortiz. They had Jake Irvin. Ortiz, 5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, 4 Ks, and a homer allowed. Jake Irvin actually did not record a single strikeout. That's a rarity. Considering the Guardians, yeah, that's a rarity. 5 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, 3 walks, and a homer with a 3.94 ERA. Like I said, Guardians brought the offense. First run of the game was scored on a wild pitch, which brought home Daniel Schneemann, who's had a pretty fun road trip, to say the least. Yeah, for sure. So he scored, and then bottom of the first, Nate Lowe. Of course, that had to be Nate Lowe. He would tie the game up. And then top 2, Nolan Jones. Yeah, the guy we traded Tyler Freeman for, made his return this year to Cleveland. Well, he homered. It'd be great if he could start hitting the ball more. That'd be great. I would love it. Second home run of the year. I think that matches his career total with the Guardians from his first time here. I think he only hit like 2 or 3 before we got rid of him. But yeah, good to see him hitting the ball out. Gave us the lead. And then, bottom 3, James Wood would homer with a 2-run shot, giving them a 3-2 lead. And then Alex Call in the bottom 5th, another former Guardian, once upon a time. He would hit a single, giving them a 4-2 lead. And then Jacob Young would hit 2 more, or he would bring in 2 more with a 2-run single, 6-2. And I'll admit, at this point, I'm like, yeah, we're probably done. I'm going to go, do some other things. Whatever. No sooner did I literally leave watching this game, I turned it off. The Guardians responded with a 6-run 7th inning. Oh, brother. And it started off with Junk. Big Christmas. RBI double. Got it to 6-3. Then J-Ram would add in a run on an RBI single. 6-4. And then Kyle Manzardo would hit into a force out. 6-5. Gabriel Arias, who's actually not ass, believe it or not, he would hit a 2-run single, giving us the lead. 7-6. And then Anna Martinez would add in a run on a grounder, which would be the final out. Nolan Jones decided to keep going, and he got out at home. So, it was 8-6. And then, like clockwork, bullpen comes in. Cade Smith usually has been nails. Well, he was not so good in this one, as he would give up the lead in the bottom of the 7th. Kyber Ruiz, RBI single, made it 8-7. Dylan Cruz would tie the game on a double. And then Jose Pina would hit a 2-run double to give them a 10-8 lead. Not gonna lie, I miss doing the because that's like a little nod to one of my legit favorite YouTubers, Dashy Games. Not Dashy Sports. No. This Dashy is like, oh, beer. He's up top tier content creator. He does Super Mario freaking Maker videos. It's hilarious. He's hilarious. Yeah. So it's like a little nod to him, But yeah, he would give them a 10-8 lead, but the Guardians would not die, as Gabe, not ass, would give us a run in the top of the 9th with a sac fly. And as far as were the Guardians legit teasing, or was this just like a one-off? Well, they did do a little teasing. We do a little teasing. They do a little teasing. As Santana would single, and then Bo would single. So that would actually have first and third. Gabe with the sac fly made it 10-9. Go-ahead run, a tying run on first. And of course, it had to be Brian Rocchio. And he did exactly what we had expected him to do. Lined out to left, which would end the game. Not too often has a team scored 9 runs and lost. So, that's game 1. Jorge Lopez would get the win. He's 5-0 with a 5.82 ERA. That is the wonkiest stat line ever. Cade Smith would take his first loss with a 3.12 ERA. Not a great series at all for him. And Finnegan would notch his 12th save of the year. The Nats have 17 wins. He has 12 saves. Damn. That is crazy, man. So that's just game 1. All right? That's just game 1. Moving on to game 2. Later on that day. And lively on the mound for the Guards. And Lord, it was a Brad Lord on the mound for the Nets. And once again, the Guardians offense showed up. Yeah, it's a sight to see. The offense actually showed up back-to-back games. I mean, it's a damn miracle. They really brought the bats to National Park. You love to see that. So as far as how Ben did, he was good. Yeah, a good outing. 5 1/3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and a home run. 3.46 ERA. And then Lord went 6 innings, 3 hits, runs, earned runs. So a lot of threes. 1 walk, 4 Ks, and a homer. 4.45 ERA. Guardians would once again strike first. Not until the 6th inning, though. It was scoreless through 5. Guardians up. Carlos Santana once again breaks the ice with a 3-run jack. Tender. Give me some jack. Yeah. And 3-run homer for Carlos Santana. It's funny. People were like, oh, we should get rid of Carlos Santana. He stinks. I'm thinking, yeah, he stinks right now. But clearly you forgot how he does things. He'll stink for like a month or so. And then, all of a sudden, the calendar changes and he starts hitting again. He's doing it again. He's starting to rake. Just hope he can stay hot long term here. That would be wonderful for this lineup. So he homered his 4th of the year. 3-0, just like that. And of course, the Nationals had to respond with their one and only run of the game on a Riley Adams homer. Was it a cheesy homer or was it like one he had to work for? Oh, yeah, okay. Ben put a pitch middle, outside a little bit in the zone. It was center, far right box on the grid. So it probably hit upper part of the bat, the power part of the bat. Yeah, he whacked that sucker, of course. Oh well, that's the only one he gave up. Mighty Mashing Mormon had to go yard, had to get another one. 8-1, his 5th of the year. What? 8-1. And then to put the little cherry on top, of course, Austin Hedges had the homer. His 3rd of the year, 9-1 Guardians. Pure just offensive explosion. The other thing was, I mean, we were literally a bullpen implosion from scoring 18 runs and sweeping the doubleheader. Yeah, that's crazy, Quandale. 19-9 since starting 3-6. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? People were like, oh, the season's over. It was only March going into April. Look where we are now, right? So Ben Lively would get the win. He's 2-2 with a 3.46 ERA. And Lord would take his 4th loss. He's 1-4 with a 4.45 ERA. So that is game 2 of the doubleheader. And now we focus on today's game, which was, of course, the series finale. And the Guardians would put Logan Allen on the mound, going against, I thought it would be Mitchell Parker, but it was actually Mike Soroka. I actually forgot he was still in the league, not going to lie. When I saw yesterday, I was like, Mike Soroka? He was with the White Sox last year. Not going to lie. Of course, I wasn't home to watch this game. Had some stuff to take care of, right? Soroka would go out and have a vintage Braves era Soroka game before the injuries. 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, but 8 strikeouts. Damn. And then a 7.20 ERA for him. Logan Allen would have the most Logan Allen freaking outing ever. 4 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 4 walks, 3 Ks with a 4.33 ERA. Again, luckily for Logan, though, the offense showed up and showed out once again, as they would do all their scoring in 1 inning. That doesn't happen too often. Usually the Guardians spread it out. Here, they just stacked all their runs on 1 inning. Now the Nats would score first on a Jacob Young double, making it 1-0. Of course, Alex Call had to add 1 of 2 with an RBI single, making it 2-0. Luis Garcia would hit a sac fly, making it 3-0. And I'm like, oh, geez. We're getting vintage Soroka, and then we can't score? All right. Fake-ass game. All right, I see how it is. But then, top of the 6th, who else but freaking Carlos Santana again? 3-run double to tie the game. This is clearing double. Like I said, he's heating up. It took him about a month to get comfortable, like always. And now he's starting to rake. There was a time when this dude literally could not hit the ball at all, really. I mean, he could hit, but he would always hit it right at guys. He's starting to heat up. So he ties the game. Ana Martinez would single, scoring 2 more. And then, you guessed it, another wild pitch by the Nats. By the way, for those curious, all the wild pitches are against the Nationals, are from the Nationals. Our pitchers essentially kept it good. Their pitchers were just throwing wild pitches left and right. My God. So, Chafin came in and threw a wild pitch. Of course. It's like a rite of passage. Yep. And Naylor would score, making it 6-3. And then what do you know? Brian Rocchio strikes again. Wow. An RBI ground out, 7-3. And then they'll round out the scoring. Jose Ramirez would get a single to score Kwan. And that would be it for the scoring. Of course, the Nationals had to respond bottom 7 against Cade Smith again, as they would get 3 more runs on an Abrams single, which would score 1, and then 2 more from Ahmed Rosario. Yeah. The man had to get in on the action. Of course. But luckily, that would be all they would score, as for the 8th and 9th, Colby Allard would come in for the 8th, pitch a clean sheet. Beautiful stuff out of him. Right? Beautiful stuff out of him in the 8th. I mean, literally ground out, fly out, 6 pitches, no problem. And then bottom 9, they would have a little, trouble, but Clase would get through it, no problem, for the most part, except for a base hit by Abrams. Young ground out. Rosario struck out, surprise, surprise. And then Wood would line out to end the game and end the series, as the Guardians would take 2 out of 3. Cantillo got the win. He's 1-0 with a 1.96 ERA. Soroka 0-2 with a 7.20 ERA. And Clase locks in his 8th save of the year with a 5.51 ERA. Aside from Festa, the bullpen was solid again. He was the only other guy to give up runs. Well, I guess the runs were scored on him and not Smith. So I guess there's that. Yeah. But everybody else was good, which is really, really good to see. Right? So that's it for the National Series. And it's funny because I was told that, or inferior competition. Right, Dashy? Right? You said they were inferior. Well, you know what's funny, though? He called them inferior, but his team lost to them. 2 out of 3. This is how you take care of inferior competition. Yeah, Chief. All right? Yeah. This is how you do it. Leave it to the team from Cleveland to show you how it's done. Right? That is exactly how it's done. So now we move on to face the Phillies on Friday. They finish out their series tomorrow against Tampa. So we avoid Luzardo. But game 1 will be Gavin Williams, I assume, possibly. That's what ESPN said. Let me refresh my memory here. Now, Aaron Nola, if it is indeed him, he's got 3 runs on 6 hits, 7 Ks in 7 innings versus the Guards in his career. 7 innings versus the Guards in his career. Last time he faced us was 2023. Yeah. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 2 homers allowed. Got a no decision. Gavin, on the other hand, well, 4 innings, 5 hits, 1 run allowed that same series when he first came to the majors. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Gavin, 2. Of course, he's coming off a not great game, I think, against the Blue Jays, if I'm not mistaken. He's been up and down so many times this year, man. He's had a fantastic outing, and then he stinks. Then he's had a fantastic outing, and then he stinks. But against Gavin, only Castellanos has an RBI on him, and that's it. Nothing else. No homers or anything. Oh. My phone here, but it's just... That's tough. That's tough. Oh, that's tough. That's big tough. You hate to see that. Mariners. Nice. Let me see if they have the matchup for that. Because they might not even have the matchups finalized on MLB. Wouldn't surprise me. But our next series is to, I guess, wrap up the month. They go through the month of May. We got Philly and Milwaukee at home. Then we have a long-ass road trip. 3 in Cincinnati. 3 more in Minnesota. 4 against Detroit. First time this year. This duel is fun. That's insane. Oh, wait, man. And of course, Luis is coming off a 5 and a third inning. Couldn't get to the 6th. 5 hit, 5 run, 3 walk, 4 K performance against Washington. Now, let's see about old Zachy Wheeler here in a moment, which I think I already went through him before. Yeah. So let's go to the Phillies. So I guess I don't need the stat muse stuff anymore, which is good. Got that stuff done. Just gotta wait on the schedule thing to happen here. So on my PC decides if it wants to be good to me or not. Because of course this thing is just taking forever. Jeez, I don't know why it's doing this. It is taking absolutely forever right now, man. But against Suarez, or Wheeler, let's go to Wheeler. Zachary Wheeler. So far this year, what has he done? Let's see. Let us see, shall we? So Zach Wheeler, coming off a 7 inning, 4 hit, 2 run, 9 K performance against Tampa last night. Wow. Yeah, he was pretty damn good. That's for sure. Last 15 games, he's 3-1, 3.35 ERA, 8 starts, 51 innings, 19 earned runs, 9 walks, 66 Ks. Holy crap. He's got 66 Ks so far this year. Yeah, he's on one this year. My God. My God. All right. So yeah, they have not officially submitted their side, but it will be Bybee, Ortiz, and Williams for the Guardians. So that's tough. Yeah. Right? Because they have Sanchez and Baz. That's today. Wait, what? Sanchez versus Baz? Oh, yeah, and then tomorrow is Luzardo Pepio. Wow. Okay. So that's who we avoid. Sanchez and Luzardo. So we already know we're getting those other three. That's why I did that. So we don't really know their lineup history against us, but it doesn't really matter. So with that being said, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap that up. Real quick, we're going to check the Twitter and see if anything happened while I was doing this. What's up, RQ? You ready for tonight? Game 2? I know you're ready. You're probably nervous as hell. I can imagine. So wait, how about the Utah Mammoth? That's cool. I like that. Wow. All right. So, yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Okay? And like I've said, I'll be live in about an hour, literally in an hour, for Celtics and Knicks game 2. And we'll see if the Knicks can take a 2-0 series lead heading back home, which would be pretty damn impressive. So with that being said, my camera's starting to mess up, so that's my cue to get. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you all in about an hour. Knicks Celtics should be a good one. See you guys there. With that being said, we took down inferior competition. So Dashie, that's how you do it. That's how it's done. That is how you take out inferior competition. Which is funny because your team stinks too. So that's hot calling the kettle black. Right? It's like a homeless person telling another homeless person he's broke. Inferior opponent calling another opponent inferior. Huh. Interesting. But I'll see y'all later. Go Guardians. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah. Hell yeah.